So first things you're going to do when you come into the room is just turn it on. It's a little button in the front. You can see it's just on and off. Go ahead and push it, and it's going to start to boot up. And then you would probably be best for you to go around to the back of the machine. So in the back of the machine, you've got to make sure that you have an in-brew bag, and then you're also going to check your O2 tank pressure. So you go ahead and open it up, and once you've opened it, you need to make sure you close it so you don't continue to use all the O2 that's left in the tank. Another thing that you check back here is your suction, so you want to see where it is going to, and you want to make sure that it's turned on the line if it's off. So it could be off, just make sure you turn it. Regular is not going to be as powerful as the line suction, so just make sure it's placed there. Also, you want to make sure that your connections for your oxygen and your air are secure and tightened. Now that the machine is on and ready to go with the self-test, we'll look at the screen. You'll see that there's about 21 things listed here. It's a checklist of things you'll do manually before the self-test, but we've done several of these already, so I'll take you through what we need to do for a quick machine check, but if you do forget any of the steps, they are listed here for you. First, I look at the gas supply, look at the pipeline pressure and the cylinder pressure, make sure that they're both adequate. Next, I go to the right side of the machine, check the suction that I had just turned on, and make sure that there are no kinks in the tubes and that it actually functions all the way to the Yangar that's connected. Next, I go over to the vaporizers and make sure that only one of them turns on at a time. So go ahead and turn each one on and make sure that the other one locks, and do both. You can also take note of the fill level and see if they need to be filled at all with any of the agents. Next, I go below that to the auxiliary O2 and I turn it on, just to make sure that that functions. And then below that you have your circuit. Make sure that your inspiratory and your expiratory limbs are both securely connected. And then you'll see that the breathing circuit, they might be connected to the mask. Go ahead and take the mask off, and you'll take your Y piece, and you'll include it to the machine. There's a special piece that sticks out here that it fits right onto. And then also make sure that your CO2 line is securely connected there, as well as to the machine. And then next I go below this to where the scavenger is and make sure that it's turned on and turn it on if it's not, and that it's between the two black lines. And then we will do our low pressure and high pressure check. So we'll open the APL valve all the way to 0 if it's not already there, and then go ahead and push the O2 flush button and make sure that the pressure does not go above 10. And then we will do the high pressure check. We'll set the APL valve to 30, and we'll push the O2 button again, and we'll see that the pressure does not go above 45, and then once you release it, that it does not go below 15. And we'll leave the pop-off valve at 30, and we're ready to do the machine self-test. So you can either push the start self-test, or you can just go ahead and hit the knob, and it will start doing its own self-test. During this, there's nothing for you to do, so you can do something else. If you haven't filled your vaporizers yet, you can go ahead and fill them. Just don't turn them on during the self-test. You could also do your meds if you want to get them ready. You can get your airway stuff ready, whatever you want to do to be more efficient during that. When your self-test is finished, the machine will bring you to the standby screen. You'll need to go into the self-test results and notice that all these items have a green circle at the end. You need to make sure that all these circles are in fact green and not red or yellow. If they are red or yellow, that will need to be addressed. You'll need to troubleshoot to figure out what is wrong. If you're not sure what's wrong, find somebody that can help you, but just don't use the machine until that problem is fixed. So now that our machine check is finished, I like to open up my APL valve to 0, so when the patient comes in the room, it's not closed at all. And then we can also take the Y connector and connect our mask, so it's ready to go for our patient. And then you can also set several things before you actually start your case. So you can put in the age and your patient's weight. The age will actually help the machine calculate what the MAC is for that patient for the different agents that you're using. And then also the weight, you can put that in, but it does only go up to 240 pounds, and it only is in pounds. If you want to set your vent settings, you can pick whatever mode you're going to use. We'll use volume. And then you can put in all the different settings that you want according to what your patient may need. And then to save it, you'll go ahead and hit this confirm button, and it will start the vent. So you'll just put it in standby, hit the confirm knob again, And it'll take you in standby to this screen, but it has saved those settings. So when you come in the room, you'll just hit volume mode again, hit the confirm knob, and it will be set to what you just put in the machine. And then if you come in the morning and you need to do your initial self-test on the machine and you have the standby screen up, you need to know that you actually have to turn the machine off and turn it back on so you can do a self-test. There's no way to go back through these menus to find that self-test screen. So you'll have to push the system power button that you actually use to turn it on. The same button turns it off. And then also you can do a leak test using the machine or a manual one in between all of your cases. So you can either do the leak test using the machine, the way I showed before by taking the Y piece and including it. And then once it's been included over here, you just hit the leak test button and hit the confirm knob, and it will do a leak test for you. You can also, if you feel more comfortable, do a manual leak test. And you'll just occlude the Y piece with your thumb, close your ACL valve, go ahead and hit your flush button, make sure that your bag is holding the air, and then go ahead and release it so you can make sure that it goes to the scavenger as well. And then lastly, I just want to show you that if you're using a spiral lift for your CO2 absorbent, it will not indicate anything during your machine check if it needs to be changed, and you will not see desiccation when you come in the room or at any point. So if you're in a case and you notice that you need to change this, you can hit this gray button, it'll release it, you pull it out, and then you'll get your new one, and you will just slide it right back in the way you pulled that old one out, and then this clips right in, and that's it.